This is Nidus, our new infested Warframe, the Scourge of the battlefield. Visually, he looks pretty damn good, right? A bit of a freak, not that kind of freak, okay? And his appearance can change, it can become more infested once you've built up enough of his mutation stacks. He gets tendrils popping out of his body, his neck, his shoulders, his helmet and so on, and his helmet opens up as well, so it's kind of cool. Now, I'm not going to talk about the new quest to avoid spoiling it on you guys, but to get his blueprint, you will need to finish the Glassed Gambit questline that you receive off the parent sequence guy on any relay. Simply jump onto any relay, go to the parent sequence room. Inside you will find Ergo Glassed. He'll be easy to find because he's the guy getting swarmed by about 50 Tenno. Talk to him to start the quest and away you go. So how does Nidus work, or how good or how bad is he? Well, as of right now, he is really powerful, and his abilities also scale incredibly well. He has no shields, similar to Inaros, and combining his damage output with his health regen, his crowd control capabilities, and his damage mitigation, he is a really fun Warframe to run with. Not to mention that he can also trigger an undying phase and become immune to damage for 5 seconds on a killing blow. Nidus is a really hard Warframe to kill. Now, first up, let's just quickly talk about his mutation stacks. These are generated by using his first ability, Virulence, which just for easy sake I am going to call Infested Wave, and his ultimate ability, which is called Ravenous as well. They will generate your mutation stacks. So his Infested Wave will generate mutation stacks, and as Nidus gains more stacks, he will also gain bonus armor, bonus health and bonus power strength. You can get a maximum of 100 stacks, and if or when you manage to get that amount of stacks, your abilities will crush enemies in seconds. His Infested Wave deals some serious damage when you have a high amount of mutation stacks. It is incredible. And also, if your Nidus receives a killing blow or about to die, then you will enter an undying stage and consume 10 of those stacks. During this time, you will regen 50% of your health and be immune to damage for 5 seconds, which is long enough for you to pop back up to full health and just keep on killing. So those stacks are very important for Nidus. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, it kind of scares me a little bit that Nidus is such an amazing frame. It did kind of scare me to put forma on him, but I went ahead anyway. He has so many potential ways to mod him or to build him. You can build him as a tank, or as a crowd control Warframe, or a damage dealing Warframe, or even as a healer, crowd control hybrid, or a balanced build between all of these. He is so damn good. But let's quickly talk about his abilities. So his first ability, as I said, increases your mutation stacks. It also staggers enemies that it hits, and it will refund 10 energy for every enemy hit by that infested wave. Here's the thing though, the energy refunded to you is affected in a negative way depending on your Warframe's efficiency. So if you have a high efficiency, then your energy refunded by the infested wave will be lower than 10. At 130% efficiency, I was only getting 7 energy back and not the base 10 that you normally get, but that's fine, it's not a massive difference between the two. His second ability is called Larva, and it's his infested tentacles that pull loads of enemies into a mass ball of what the feck is that thing, and it allows you to crowd control enemies in range of that larva. It's an infested version, I guess, of Vauban's Vortex, except it only pulls enemies in once, and that's when it originally first spawns. It won't pull enemies in after that initial grab, so after that initial cast, but you can combine this ability with his first ability, his Infested Wave, for some serious mutation stacking, and it ragdolls those enemies like crazy once you kill them. Range mods will affect the reach of that grab of your tendrils for this ability. If you wanted to build your Nidus for crowd control, then this is the ability you're going to do it with. His next ability is called Parasitic Link. It's got 2 possible ways to use it. Number 1, you can link to a teammate and boost their damage output, or the second way is you can link it to an enemy and have it soak up the damage that you would normally take. With this linked to an enemy, you can have up on 90% damage reduction, which is amazing once you've gone and cast it on a heavy enemy, maybe a bombard or a heavy gunner or something like that. It's got a base duration of 1 minute as well, so you can keep that link going for quite a long time once you stay in range of it and don't wander too far away, in which case the link just breaks and the enemy becomes active again. Parasitic Link has kept me alive in situations that would have normally killed me or normally killed another Warframe. Like when I was surrounded by bombards and napalms, it simply allowed me to face tank those bombard rockets and those napalm shots to eventually then kill those enemies. So it is definitely a good ability to use once shit hits the fan. His fourth and ultimate ability is called Ravenous. Now this ability costs 3 stacks of your mutation stacks in order to cast, and it spawns in an infested growth or grass, ugly feckin' grass. It spreads in an 8-meter radius around your Warframe, and it also spawns in 9 of your very own infested maggots, which will attack enemies and eventually explode if killed, dealing a feck ton of damage. Some serious damage numbers come from those explosions. Of course, the amount of mutation stacks that your Nidus has will increase the damage output of these maggots and their explosions up to a point where I was seeing damage numbers up on 50,000 to 100,000, which is nuts, especially considering that these maggots have a 4-meter, explosion radius, which means they can get multiple enemies with one shot. Also, while standing on the infested grass that you spawn in from this Ravenous ability, you and your teammates will also regen health a lot faster, depending also on your mutation stacks and how many you have. So it's not only ugly infested grass, it's also got medicinal properties. I swear, officer, it's for medicinal purposes. I got glaucoma. Leave me alone. So Nidus is a Warframe that can be modded for multiple different builds. Whether you want to go for crowd control, like I said, or a tank or a damage dealer is entirely up to you. This is how I went about modding mine just for this run. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this build or not. I was thinking of maybe looking at health conversion or a few different mods just to see what way I could get him to run. And he is a Warframe that depends heavily on getting your mutation stacks up as high and as fast as possible, to the point where he can crowd control, or he can deal serious damage, or he can heal or regen health to you and your teammates for periods of time. He can also enter that invulnerable stage when you get a killing blow, which makes him a really good Warframe to have in your squad. I honestly don't see anything really wrong with Nidus as he is right now, which kind of scares me. It kind of leads me to think that maybe there could be a nerf inbound, but that's just me thinking that. Please don't say in the comment section just because I said that it's going to happen, because it's fucking not. If I was going to kind of nitpick and find something that I really don't like about Nidus, then it would just simply be the fact that bright colours make that infested spread from his Ravenous ability really hard to look at. Also, if you have got more than one Nidus in your squad and they've all got multiple bright colours, then it will make you feel like you're absolutely tripping balls, like you just drank some of Granda's special moonshine that he tells no one about and hides in the cupboard, but gets you drunk so damn feckin' fast. Let me know what you guys think of Nidus, especially of his quest, and how feckin' tedious maybe you thought it was, because I've seen a lot of people in chat complaining about how tedious it was, and some people felt that the best option to do was actually buy it with platinum, which if that is the case, if players are feeling like they need to buy something to avoid having to do that quest, then there's something wrong there. I don't agree with that. Also, the fact that he can interact with the infested door on our Lyset, the fact that he can enter that room, what implications do you think that has, or who is the voice speaking to Nidus when you go into that room? Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.